Hey guys, welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel where we cover all things crypto and crypto mining. So today we have got some huge news about one of the biggest Bitcoin mining farms in the world. So it looks like Core Scientific may possibly be filing for bankruptcy. So we're going to reference this article from Decrypt. The title is The Bitcoin Miner Core Scientific Stock Price Plunges 70% on Bankruptcy Warning. The company could run out of money by the end of the year or even sooner, it said in a statement to shareholders. Another big thing that came out was here in a statement issued to shareholders on Thursday morning. The company said it was exploring a number of options and that would not pay any of its debts due over the next few days. So they're going to stop paying all their debtors. So the speculation is that they may be filing for bankruptcy soon. I'm sure they're also putting this out there so they can kind of use as leverage to their debtors so they can try to restructure their debts with them before they have to do something this drastic. If that doesn't work, then I'm sure they'll be filing for like Chapter 11 so they can restructure their debt. And what that probably means is them liquidating a lot of their equipment so they can pay back their debt. So that means possibility of cheaper Bitcoin miners in the near future. And it's pretty crazy news because again, this is the biggest mining farm in the world. And it's pretty crazy to think that they didn't do more preparation for this bear market. I can't even like understand how after only like 5 months of this mediocre price action that they're already in this big trouble. To me, that signifies that they didn't really do much consulting. They didn't really think about the possibility of this really happening. This 4-year cycle actually happening again. And to me, it's also going to be a sign to come, right? This wasn't the first one. There was one 4 weeks ago. I think it was Compute North who already filed for bankruptcy. And I'm sure this isn't going to be the last one either, right? So it's crazy to think that. Especially for me, my opinion, what I thought was actually happening, because we've all seen the hash rate go up astronomically. It's just been increasing, 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 even with this crappy price action. What my thought was is that these guys, specifically them, because they're so much bigger than everybody else, that they were going to try to price everybody out. I thought that was actually the reason for that huge increase in hash rate. That was that literally they were just going to keep going to try to just get rid of the competition. That was going to be their goal, to make it to the point where it was not going to be profitable, and that they were going to be able to like either merge with these guys or like buy them out or send them into bankruptcy. So the fact that these were the guys who went into bankruptcy first, pretty big shock to me. Um, so it's pure speculation. They haven't officially filed for bankruptcy, but again, this is the sentiment. Um, so you're probably thinking, okay, so what does that have to do with us at home Bitcoin miners? Well, it does affect us. Why? Because this is a good bottom indicator, right? Not to necessarily we're at the bottom, but we're probably pretty close. We'll see how time will tell. We'll see how things go from here, but all the speculation is that anywhere from like now till January, February, that's where most of the sentiment seems to be as far as where the bottom is. Not the end of the bear market, but the possible bottom. So we'll probably still be pretty low, but maybe instead of being in the 18 to 20s, we'll be in the 22 to 25. So I don't think it's going to be much higher, and it's still going to be sideways for probably another year after that. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion, what I think from overall, from, seeing what different YouTubers have to say, what history has to say. This is just my personal opinion of it. Um, so it does affect us also because I think prices of these miners are going to go down, right? These guys are eventually going to probably liquidate. Other companies will liquidate, and prices will continue to go down for these miners, especially if this price action sucks. If it stays kind of where it's at, I think we might have a little rally right now, a little Santa rally, a little Christmas rally, but afterwards, I think we'll be back to where we're at. Maybe not like the 1820, but again, maybe that like 22, 25, and I think we're going to be stuck sideways for a while. So if after only 5 months these guys already have this many issues, I'm sure again more will come. So here's a little total hash rate chart. You can see how it's been creeping up, and again, like this huge raise, I was pretty convinced that this was all pretty much them trying to just price out the competition. That maybe they had good reserves, they were ready for it, they're gonna try to knock everybody out, but no, not the case. At least not them. Maybe this is actually one of the smaller guys. We don't know yet. I'm sure we'll find out soon though. And you can see this crappy price action. You can see here, of course, that big drop, and we pretty much have been here the whole time. It's pretty much been 5 months of just sideways action. So again, the fact that these guys didn't prepare, because this is probably going to happen regardless of the whole Celsius thing, regardless of the Three Arrows Capital thing. This was going to be it for like the next year and a half, right? Even if they weren't 100% convinced, they were maybe thinking that, okay, it's going to be different. They should have at least prepared for that possibility. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if any liquidations happen, if we get cheaper prices. Um, Another crazy aspect to this was that Celsius was actually involved in Core Scientific going down. So it turns out, I don't know if you guys heard, but Celsius was gonna have a little mining operation, and guess who was the host? Core Scientific. And guess who was owed money by them? Core Scientific. So Celsius also actually had something to do with this. It does speak about it in the article a little bit. I think it was something towards the bottom. And yeah, I don't know. There's more info on it somewhere. You can probably Google it and find it. But it's pretty crazy that Celsius did actually affect these guys as well. So not only did they take themselves down, being one of the biggest CeFi, players in the game, also took down one of the biggest VCs, and now one of the biggest Bitcoin mining farms. Pretty freaking nuts. But yeah, man. After only 5 months, they went down. So hopefully, cheaper prices. Although they're pretty low already, it's hard to think that they're gonna go even lower. I'm personally waiting for the S19 XPs to go down. The freaking S19Js are already pretty cheap. You can find them. I think Bitmain had them at like 1900. So like after duties and taxes, probably around 2500. If I had more room for them, a bigger electricity panel, I'd probably be picking more up. But unfortunately, I won't be able to have that many in house. So I'm only gonna be really looking for like the most efficient, which are the XPs. So definitely waiting for those to go down. Um, and we'll see. Here's a chart that F2 Pool actually had on their Twitter a few days ago, just showing how much more they were producing than any of the other guys. Right here we see Core Scientific on top with 1,213 was their Bitcoin production during that period. The next closest one was Bitfarms at 481. So almost like a 3x from the nearest competition, which is pretty crazy. Um, so we'll see how many more of these guys end up in that same position, or if any of these guys take advantage, right? I would think that some of these guys did prepare themselves better, right? So the ones that did have a good amount of reserves to like hold themselves off for a year, they're gonna be able to pick up these things cheap. They're gonna benefit from it, right? So we'll see who who ends up on top out of these guys. But there's one more reason to not invest in these like things that are aside from Bitcoin. Invest if you're interested in Bitcoin, you want to invest in it. Invest in the coin itself. Don't invest in these proxies. I mean, look at what happened with all these guys. I mean, look at this freaking chart. This is Core Scientific's chart. So back in the peak of the bull run, they were at $14.32. Now, after this news, 22 cents. Crazy. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you learned something from this video. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And again, if you found value, hit that subscribe button, guys. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'm out.